Back in June, I just did not start feeling well. One day I just kind of felt like it was kind of fluish. And so I wasn't getting better after my doctor had given me some medications and multiple different kinds, and nothing was happening. So he went ahead and decided to do a blood panel. And when they did the blood panel, I was able to actually look before I met with him at my results. And I seen three very big highlighted high levels. So I kind of looked online what that was, and they said that those were 3 out of 4 precursors for this particular leukemia. My doctor immediately called and they said, we need to get you in, ASAP. So I went in, and the first thing I said with him, my wife went with me, is, do I have leukemia? And he's like, I don't know. He said, this is, right now, we just got to kind of rule some things out, take some time. I'm like, I don't have time. I need to know what's going on. When we left there, my wife and I, we got a hold of the Mayo Clinic up in Phoenix, explained to them what was going on. We then sent up my lab results to them for them to look at. And long story short, they said, yeah, you're gonna need to come up here so that we can see you. I had some sort of a peace inside of me through this process, and normally I would be very scared, because when you hear that, that is like, oh boy, I get a phone call from, or actually an email from the lab that originally took my results that said, hey, your doctor scheduled you for another draw. So when I went there, they said, yeah, we're gonna draw your blood for what your doctor ordered. And I'm like, he didn't order it. It's 3 months from now. And they're like, no, it just came in. So they drew my blood, and I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't make sense. So I went to my doctor's, and he never called in a blood draw. But what ended up happening is, from that blood draw, my results came back. And this was after I'd come to church, and we had went into the prayer room, and they prayed over me during this process. And we had a lot of people praying at this time. And when the results came back, it was like I read them, I looked at them, and I read them to my wife, and it was, when you see numbers that are, normally supposed to be 1 and they're 15, 16, and all of a sudden you look and they're 0.9, and everything had dropped by 75 to 80%, and all the precursors, it was gone. And so we thought, well, we probably still need to go up to the Mayo Clinic, and we sent them the results of that particular one, and they called, and they were like, we don't know what to say other than, what we're looking at here looks, you're fine. So there was no doubt in my mind when you look at one thing and another, and it's so obvious in the fact that nobody ever even called in that second lab draw. But for me, it was God's way of, I want to show you what I can do. There is no like, you got lucky. There is no, when a doctor can't even explain it to you, I already have the main doctor, and he explained it exactly to me, and that is, I'm not done with you yet.